I'm starting to think the writers of the real Ghostbusters really liked Star Trek. We've seen the real Ghostbuster reference Star Trek before, but this time it gets really direct. This episode wastes no time, starting out with a familiar looking crew hanging out on the space station. You have a Russian guy, an Asian dude, a lady with big hair, and a Scottish engineer.
Do these people look familiar to you?
Yes, obviously. If you didn't miss the joke, Peter spells it out.
They've been out exploring strange new worlds, seeking out new life and new civilizations.
They even have Star Trek logos on their arm patches. So do you get it? This is Star Trek meets Ghostbusters, with everything changed just enough to avoid a lawsuit. Got it? Are we on the same page? Good. The crew of the space station is only on their second day of the mission, and they think they spot a ghost. So the solution? Spend millions of dollars of government money to call in the professionals.
Hot diggity, a government contract. Big bucks, here we come.
Once on board, the team heads to engineering to see what they've got.
Same basic ectoplasmic makeup as a Class 4 free-floating spirit. Fascinating.
When you talk like that, you remind me of an old shipmate.
Indeed.
Yeah, this isn't gonna stop, is it?
Are you sure you never served as a science officer?
Nope, not stopping.
We are on 5-year mission.
Oh.
Fascinating.
You're right. He does remind me of a certain pointy-eared science officer.
Okay. We're changing this to a skip episode because you just saw everything worthwhile about this episode of The Real Ghostbusters. That isn't to say it's a terrible episode. It's just really mediocre. The story plods along slowly and just kind of meanders and wastes time. It totally wastes the we're in space opportunity to just load up with a ton of Star Trek references. And that's a real shame because a space episode could have all sorts of cool implications. But they don't really even get into that. They sort of hint at it. And early on in the episode say that this is a ghost without, psychokinetic readings. It's an ectoplasmic entity, but it doesn't have the brainwaves of a normal ghost. But it never elaborates on that or explores it in any significant way. And it's a shame because it really seems like a waste of an episode. And I'd hate to see a waste of an episode, particularly as a guy that loves space stories, loves the Ghostbusters, and loves Star Trek, to see an episode reduced to nothing more but the minimal requirements to do a parody and make references that Egon is kind of like Spock is just a big disappointment. I do think it's interesting that they chose to combine the captain with Chekhov of all people. And I understand taking Spock out of the equation for the parody to make the Egon jokes, but there's just not that much to say about this episode at all. It's just too bad, because this could have been a great episode and it wasn't. So, we're skipping it. It's done. We're moving on. Thanks for watching. If you want to see more episodes and less skips, maybe you could subscribe over there. But otherwise, stay charged. Goodbye. Good night.
Mrugnąć tak, gdy prawda jest westia. Mrugnąć